Aloha, planetary kin. Welcome to another installment of It's About Time, where we explore the difference between natural time and artificial time. I'm your host and cosmic skywatcher, Randy Bruner, also known as Cosmic Hand, transmitting aligned with the divine from 19.5 on the Big Island of Hawaii. It's about time. Aloha, planetary kin. I know you're thinking, it's about time he does another It's About Time show. Yeah, I know, I've been away for a while. Sometimes your cosmic sky watcher just has to go out there and check things out from the big picture of everything. And that's what I've been doing for maybe the past year. What I'm trying to point out here, though, is that these cycles that keep coming around are linked to each other. That's the nature of cycles. You know, we're not seeing, oh, this is happening in the sky and boom, like that, it happens. These are a process that we're involved in, okay? And what's coming up this August, the Great American Eclipse, is one of those aspects. That's why I'm back here to talk to you today, because it's coming up really within 6 weeks from now. And it's powerful and positive, okay? A lot of people look at eclipses in a negative sense, you know. But the point here is, look at how many people around the country are already planning to go see the eclipse, you know. Could be 50 million people out to see the eclipse. And the point is, this is recreation. You know, people are doing it for fun. You know, 50 million people have a reason to go out and have some fun together. What a concept, you know? I mean, because a lot of people think of eclipses, especially in the astrological sense, as, you know, doom and gloom, you know, foreshadowing of a disaster or a problem, you know, and it doesn't have to be that way. What happens is it brings people together. Even when there's a disaster, people come together. Think about it. How did you feel the last time you experienced a disaster? You felt for the people who were hurting. You know, you felt for them. That's compassion. And that's what comes from a disaster, but it doesn't have to come from a disaster. That's the point I'm trying to make here. People are coming together to see the eclipse, you know, for something fun to do, possibly a once-in-a-lifetime experience for people. So they're coming together for that. And they're all having a good time together. It crosses all the lines. It's like sharing. And why I'm putting it out to you this way is the eclipse is on, in the Mayan calendar, is on white crystal dog. White crystal dog. The crystal tone is the tone of cooperation, and the dog tribe is the dog tribe is love, heart, loyalty. Those are the attributes of the dog tribe. And so the white crystal dog, people cooperate in order to love, to bring love together and share loyalty and happiness. And what's interesting to me is the eclipse literally diagonally cuts right through the United States, from Oregon all the way across down to South Carolina. It just cuts right through diagonally, right through the center of the country. And what is that? It's the heartland. The eclipse cuts right through the heartland of the United States. And it's a heart day in the Mayan calendar. Okay, this is an opportunity to open up our hearts, because the eclipse just goes right through there. And in fact, the longest period of eclipse, which is only about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, goes directly across the center of the heartland. And so here's what's going on in the world as we look around. You know, America is being divided. Very, very separate camps are forming. And when we were in agreement with other countries, now we're standing aside. And the rest of the countries are together and we're standing aside. So what needs to happen here is America's heart needs to open. When we open our heart, America can change the world. That is the point of what's going on with the eclipse. And why I'm putting it to you this way is this is a buildup of things that have happened over 50 years. I mean, really, since the baby boomers were born, since the bomb was exploded, our culture and humanity have begun moving towards peace and away from war and conflict, because we saw what conflict can do, you know. And now in the 60s, things started to change. And if you're looking at astrological cycles, the 60s were the conjunction of Pluto and Uranus. And if you've listened to my other shows, you probably remember that. So that's where the change started. The two big change planets, Pluto and Uranus, came together in the 60s. Okay? And so, boom, something changed just like that. That's Uranus, the lightning bolt. Boom, everything's different. Then Pluto is right there along with it, and Pluto is transformation. It's not just change, it's transformation. So transformation and the lightning bolt came together at the same time in the 60s to bring about these changes. And now we're experiencing Pluto and Uranus in a different way. They're not together, but they're in aspects to each other and to other planets. And so that's what's so interesting about the way the planets move. I mean, if we're living as above, so below, it's up to us to observe what's going on above so that we can play it out more effectively as below, you know. So the key here is it's not cast in stone in the stars, because it's some of it is the way we see it, the way we play it out. And if we see things differently, things play out differently. If we believe in fear, fear is what we get. If we believe in love, love is what we get. That's the point here. So in the 60s, planets came together, things changed. And it was because people were receptive to the energy. But a lot of people also knew that Pluto and Uranus were coming together and it was time for a change. And then we look to the 80s, and there was the harmonic convergence. And the harmonic convergence was a grand trine in fire signs. And the grand trine in fire signs for the harmonic convergence set us into motion, created action on what the transformation can be. And I'm not going to go into the astrology of the harmonic convergence other than the grand trine. You can look it up yourself. It's on the internet, pretty easy to find. So what I'm saying, though, is that was a worldwide peace event. Millions of people around the world went to sacred sites, got together, and celebrated a day of peace, art, happiness, love, joy. Well, it was more than one day. It was 2 days, but it was also often a festival of several days at that time. But what I'm saying is the grand trine of that time was taking action by having events that honor peace and that create art and take people back to nature, to a sacred place. All this was happening at the harmonic convergence. A lot of people came along, didn't even know why they were there. They just knew, I need to participate in this, you know. And so a lot of people found out about it by doing it. Anyway, that's another step in this process. And I would also note that Gandhi had a grand trine in fire in his chart. And his life was devoted to peace. He was an activist. Okay, that's the point. Fire is active, but a trine in fire is positive. In other words, fire can be dangerous. I mean, you can get burned and things can, be consumed. And the grand trine is a harmonious aspect between the planets. Even though the planets are in fire, and like I said, that could be dangerous, they're harmoniously aligned. That means that you can use the fire to create harmony, not discord, not pain, not destruction, but harmony. And so the power of the grand trine in fire is to take action to create harmony, rather than allowing this to blaze through and take over. We can utilize the energies ourselves to direct the energy towards harmony. Because if you just use the energy of fire, well, that can be dangerous. But if you use fire coupled with harmony, then everybody wins. That's why we had a world peace event. That's why millions of people joined, mostly without even knowing what they were doing, just showing up because it looked like fun. Somebody's doing something that's fun. Let's go participate. And so that was the year of the galactic wizard. And so the seed of the galaxy was magically planted by the galactic wizard at the time of the harmonic convergence. So the new year began, and the harmonic convergence was in the first moon of the new year of the galactic wizard year. And so the first moon is the moon of unity. It's the moon, it's the magnetic moon. It pulls people together, it attracts. People came to the harmonic convergence without even knowing why they were coming, but they came anyway. That's the power of attraction. And so when, to move along the timeline a little bit, that started the process. That was 26 years till 2012, 2013. So that is also part of this process that we're talking about here. So back in 2013, we were in the galactic seed year. Okay, the galactic wizard sort of started the process with the harmonic convergence, then December 21st, 2012, then the galactic seed year, July 26th, 2013. And so in that moon, in that magnetic moon of the galactic seed year, was the grand sextile. And the grand sextile was when the planets were all harmoniously aligned around the Earth. It was two grand trines at the same time, one in earth and one in water. Okay, so the mother, the feminine aspects were both represented in the grand sextile. The masculine aspect was represented in the grand trine in fire. For the harmonic convergence, we took action to make that happen. Then in the galactic seed year, the grand sextile happens. The feminine aspects, the goddess, is called into play to plant the galactic seed. And so the harmonious aspects all around the planet, all within our own solar system, holding harmony in both of the goddess elements, earth and water. And so that was how we planted the galactic seed. Okay, and things are changing. I mean, think about it. In the 60s, a lot of people changed. Dramatic change took place for some people, but minor changes took place for a lot of people. We got civil rights. We got women's rights. Things started changing. By the time it was the harmonic convergence, a lot more people were changing. People were waking up. That was the new age. People were recognizing that there were things going on with them and for them that were of a higher purpose, and inspiring them to be more spiritual or get back in touch with nature or get back in touch with each other. That was the harmonic convergence. And so everyone focused on the ending of the Mayan calendar. Well, it wasn't the end. It was the end of a cycle. Another cycle begins as soon as the other one ends. It wasn't doomsday or anything like that, but we are in the process of change. And the ending of that cycle gave way into this new cycle where the opportunity for manifestation of the change is taking place. More people are waking up almost continuously. Experiences that people have in their lives are showing them a bigger picture of what's going on in the world. And so now we're coming back to the, eclipse coming up, and people are coming together, and these people aren't coming together for anything spiritual, really. That's what they think. They're coming together to watch the eclipse. Again, a once in a lifetime experience that they and their families can have together and share with everyone else. But what's really going on? It's the white crystal dog. It's the white crystal dog day, and people are already planning this. None of these people know that it's white crystal dog, that they're planning to go to the heartland and share with people in love. And so anyway, the cooperation in order to love is the energy of the day, and people are already planning it. They don't even have to know. It's just happening. Okay, and so what we're talking about here is bringing about a major change. As I said before, the eclipse cuts right through the heartland. And what happens with an eclipse, whether it's lunar or solar, is that there's an opposition. And oppositions are pulling in the opposite directions. In other words, they are pulling things apart. They're exposing the hidden agendas. They're opening up the dark, the moon goes dark, the sun goes dark. That opens a pathway into the subconscious and to get in touch with what's the underlying darkness, And so if we are holding a nest or a geometric form of peace and love, while the darkness is being exposed, what happens? What happens? The darkness is exposed to peace and love, and it just goes away. Because that's not what this is all about. It's not about the darkness. It's about moving forward into a new paradigm. That's what we're talking about here. A new paradigm of love versus fear. And the opportunity for people to come together just to have fun, but every day, not just on the eclipse day. What I'm saying is the energy of the eclipse often is foretold as disaster, and if we have compassion during a disaster, why can't we have compassion all the time? It takes a disaster for us to feel for each other. Oh, please, come on, people. We can have compassion all the time. We can love each other all the time. That's what's going on here. And I'm asking you to consider this possibility. If you were born between 1951 and 1961, you're part of the baby boomers, okay? And in astrology, Pluto, right now, Pluto in your chart is right now going to be conjunct the solar eclipse. So people born in that 10-year period, your Pluto in your chart is going to be conjunct the eclipse. This is a generational thing. Okay, I would say to you that you're an agent of change. That because your Pluto is right on the eclipse, the power of transformation is in your hands. It's in my chart, it's in your chart. Everyone born in that 10-year period, it's in your chart that you are Pluto conjunct the solar eclipse. So if you hold the vision of the 60s, if you hold the vision of peace, love, joy, harmony, compassion, unity, then that's what we'll get out of the eclipse. And there's enough of us who were born in that time that if even a portion of us make this commitment, everybody wins. The point is, this isn't all about the baby boomers, okay? I'm telling you all because you got Pluto conjunct the solar eclipse. That makes you an agent of change. It makes you an agent of transformation. Not just change, but transformation. But what I'm saying is this is a call to action to all light workers to support us, the baby boomers, in doing this, in bringing this process into fruition. All we have to do is feel love and compassion and unity and hold that energy as a nest, as a net, as a geometric form. Because these discordant energies that are going on now are playing out as if they're chaos, okay? And chaos may be required for the paradigm to shift. Things have to be pulled apart and revealed and seen from within and exposed, and that's uncomfortable because they want to stay in power and they don't want things to change. Well, the point is, if it's pulled apart and there's a form for it to fall into, and that form is peace and harmony, love, compassion, and unity, then it can easily be pulled apart and reformed. Not just like that. I mean, these are processes that we're involved in. But this is an opportunity for us to take action because we are talking about a grand trine in fire. We're back to the grand trine in fire at the solar eclipse. Okay, this could be harmonic convergence. You know, it was a grand trine in fire in the magnetic moon of the galactic wizard year. Now it's, you know, a grand trine in fire in the magnetic moon of the crystal seed year. Okay, I dedicate in order to plant the seed. It's the crystal seed year. And so crystal seed is also a galactic activation portal. This entire year is an open doorway to galactic influx of energy. And the solar eclipse occurs in the magnetic moon, which attracts and unifies in the crystal seed year. Okay, so we planted the galactic seed at 2013. This is dedicating ourselves to the growth of the seed. 4 years later, it's the crystal seed galactic activation portal year. What day is the solar eclipse? Remember, I just told you it's the crystal dog. So it's the crystal day in the crystal year. Okay, and the dog is the power of love. What seed are we planting? When we dedicate ourselves to planting a seed, we're planting the seed of love. The crystal dog is the solar eclipse. So we're asking everyone to take action by holding love. What we did at Harmonic Convergence was an example of how to hold love, to take action towards harmony, to take action towards peace, to take action towards nature. This is the opportunity that's coming. And like I said, 50 million people are already participating. Okay? So if we participate too, and we talk to some of them about it, they might just feel it. They might just join, because it is a joining together already. People are unifying for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. What if that once-in-a-lifetime experience isn't just the eclipse? What if that once-in-a-lifetime experience is holding the energy for a planetary shift? That's what we have the opportunity for here. That's why I'm coming to you with this now, because there is still enough time to pull this together. Now, I haven't even told you all the aspects. I've only told you the basic aspects. So I will have more videos getting very specific on what the aspects are, how we can utilize them, what we can specifically do to create this harmonious geometric pattern of peace in the face of Great American Eclipse.